Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to our podcast where we agree
To disagree.
on a lot of different things.
Today's topic, stole it right from you.
You did steal it right from me.
Gender disappointment.
Gender disappointment, which thankfully we're not dealing with. But
It's
we'll
true.
mostly be talking about kind of our gender reveal and just kind of how it goes. But we recently found out the gender of our baby. We're having a girl. She's really cute. We saw some more ultrasounds the other day.
We had our 20-week appointment where they checked the baby, did all the things to make sure she is healthy and things are growing right and has all of her fingers and toes and that her whole system is functioning. I don't know. It was a lot to take in.
It was pretty cool.
It was cool.
It was like a whole anatomy lesson
Mhm.
because we were there for such a long time. And I mean, a lot of it was waiting for, your OB, but when we
were and the baby wasn't always positioned right, so we kind of had to go back.
But she did so many ultrasound pictures, and she showed us like the heart, the brain, like all the arms, legs, hands, feet, not her lungs. Maybe was it her lungs or kidneys? I don't know. There was like
a lot of things.
There was like this filter that she put on the ultrasound that showed blood flow. It was cool. We saw a lot of stuff.
Jonas learned a lot.
Yeah, that was a good time.
And it's kind of cool because my placenta is in the back of me, so it's behind the baby. So it's cool because I've been able to feel her a lot, but they said you'll really be able to feel it once the baby starts really moving. You'll really be able to see it and feel it. But today she was really kicking me kind of hard. I was like, whoa, when I was driving the car. I'm like, what is happening? So it's kind of fun, pretty cool. Yeah. I've had some friends that haven't even felt really the baby at all, so I think their placenta's more in the front, which is crazy.
Every time we get an ultrasound, whoever does it always says, wow, your baby's so active.
I know.
She's always
always moving.
Kicking and punching and somersaulting. So that's fun. So yeah, that was fun. So back to the topic, what is gender disappointment? According to a doctor of psychology, Danielle Forshee, the term gender disappointment describes the feelings of sadness and disappointment, typically followed by guilt and shame a parent might experience when they find out that the sex of their baby is not what they were hoping for. Sadness and disappointment oftentimes occur because before the gender reveal, you and or your partner had ideas and thoughts about what life would be like if your baby was the gender you preferred. So
we definitely did that a lot.
We definitely did. We thought for sure it was a boy.
Well, I, at the whole beginning, thought it was a girl.
I know you were peer pressured into thinking it was a boy.
Yeah, because your whole family was like, boy. But then all my friends were like, girl. And so then I really just started getting torn apart because I'm like, I don't even know anymore.
I mean, I knew, though, to not get attached to whatever I would have thought it was, And then last minute, if you watched our YouTube video, day of the gender reveal, I changed my vote. Actually, you know what? You can't see it because the audio's gone.
It's on Instagram. I posted the whole video.
Well, I mean, so just to explain that for everyone that's wondering what we're talking about, we posted our gender reveal video, but the videographer that we had used a copyright song, and it's so dumb. YouTube is honestly the worst because I uploaded it the day before, and it did all the copyright checks and everything, no problem. I scheduled it to go live. I checked right before it went live, no problems.
And it was got good for like a whole hour.
Yeah, and then
so some people watched it just fine.
And then an hour in, we get an email, copyright strike. Whoever's song or record label made that song, I don't know. There was a copyright claim, and so I had to either mute that whole section or replace it. And so I replaced it with just a non-copyright song, but I couldn't edit and keep in the audio because during that section was when we were talking about our guesses.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, the YouTube video is a little messed up because it doesn't have all the audio, but the one on Instagram does. And you can hear me say, I think it's a girl. So I changed my guess. And then I feel like
I didn't know what to say. And since I wore blue, I was like, I'll just say boy.
I knew it was as soon as the cannons went off, we stopped counting down, I knew it was a girl before we turned around because of how excited the girls were.
Wait, say that again?
because we were facing our friends and family.
Yeah.
Everyone was counting down. The cannons, the smoke confetti cannons were behind us. And as soon as it went off, and I saw how excited the girls were, I'm like, oh, it's probably a girl. And then I look over and it was. And I was like, aha, I told you so. And then you were
Well, the
happy.
funny thing was so Jonas's sister, we've talked about it before, she is in med school and has an ultrasound at home on an iPad. And the quality's like, it's like pretty good. It's still like, you know, not like going to your OB or going to get an ultrasound, but we went to Fetal Photos, this place where you can go get ultrasounds, and that's where we went to go get the gender. And like a couple days after we did that, we were like a week out from doing the gender reveal, and Maddie was like, let's do another ultrasound. And of course, like, she's in med school and kind of knows what to look for, so I should have thought, but like I kind of was like, oh, I'm good, I don't want to see the baby, because like, what if we can see if it's a girl or a boy, you know? So I'm like, I don't know if I want to like look. Anyway, the whole time she has been like, all you can ever see is like her back. Like, she's just faced like the opposite way every time. Like, she will never flip around where we can just straight up see like the front of her. And so thankfully, like, couldn't really see much in the ultrasound, and then her thing wasn't fully charged, so it ended up dying. So we only saw like 5 minutes. But she, in the moment, didn't really say like she knew what the gender was until
she
like,
knew, but she didn't tell us.
Well, a couple days before, she was kind of like, I'm 90% sure what the gender is. But anyway, she fooled everybody because she was pretty good at convincing people she didn't know what it was, or kind of saying it was a boy, because every time we kept doing it, she kept saying like, boy, oh, you're having a boy, it's a boy. And then like the whole, like, her mom was like, or Jonas's mom was like, it's a boy. Anyway, so I think that's kind of why we ended up just calling it a he a lot, because
yeah,
it was just like everyone was like, it's a boy, it's a boy. And then we get to the gender reveal, and I wore a blue dress because I just feel like during gender reveals, you know, sometimes you wear a pink dress or a blue dress, because that was kind of like our theme, pink and blue, and I just happened to have a cute blue dress, so I'm like, I'm just going to wear this, it's cute. And so then I show up and everyone's like, so do you think it's a boy? And I'm like, well, I don't really know at this point.
I know.
I just wanted to wear this cute blue dress, you know, it fit with the theme. And then Maddie comes up and was wearing a pink dress, and I didn't really think much of it. And I, you know, because like the whole time, like, I thought she thought it was a boy, so I just thought she like decided to wear pink. She comes up to me, she's like, why are you wearing a blue dress? And I'm like, I don't know, I just wore a blue dress. But she was so confused because like she knew I really wanted a girl. So anyway, my mom comes up to me right before we go to do the confetti cannons and stuff, and she's like, yeah, so Maddie said she's 90% sure on what the gender is, and she's wearing a pink dress. And so my mom's like, I think you're having a girl. And then literally we walk over and we start the countdown, and it was a girl. So anyway, Maddie was 90% sure it was a girl. And then yesterday at our appointment, our 20-week appointment, it was confirmed it was a girl. Just, you know, double, triple, which I know sometimes it can still, the baby can be born, and sometimes it ends up being the other gender. But anyway, it's a girl. At least that we know, so we're excited. It was hard for me at first, though, to be honest.
What do you mean hard?
Because
for you?
I knew how bad.
No, you were so excited.
I was excited. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I felt so bad for Jonas, because I know he didn't care what we were having, but I know he wanted a boy so bad that, like, it kind of broke my heart a little bit, because, like, he already has me and Mello, so, like, I thought it'd be fun for him to have a little boy. And so, like, we went to the mall after, and Jonas, one, hates shopping. And most of the time, he just didn't really care to look at the baby stuff. He was just kind of you know, like, it's cute, you know, normal Jonas stuff, you know, when we're shopping. So, like, I felt bad, because I'm like, would he enjoy this more if it was, like, little boy stuff, you know? And then, anyway, I was just kind of feeling guilty, like, should we be pregnant with a boy instead? Because, like, I just, like, would have loved to seen Jonas's reaction, like, having a boy, because I know, like, he would have been so excited for that. But he is really excited. Like, when I was packing, I just went to Arizona, and when I was packing, he would touch my tummy and say her name, and every time he called me, how's baby doing? Mm-hmm. So I know you're excited, but in the gender reveal day is when I kind of felt, like, guilty in a way, like, I don't know, it just, like, made me kind of feel bad. But then when I was talking to Chelsea when I was in Arizona with my sister, she's like, Maddie's the one that likes bugs and being outside and adventurous. So he's like, Jonas can still do all those things with a girl, because Jonas is like, I want to go on hikes with my boy and teach him about bugs.
Well, I think my thing was, I think it was more like not really caring the gender of the baby, but just for me as a parent, I feel like I feel way more more confident being a dad to a boy. I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot about little girls, you know, like I don't know. I just feel like I'm just more nervous to be a girl dad than a boy dad. Like I feel like being a boy dad would be pretty easy. Not that being a dad is ever easy, but easier comparatively. But I don't know. Just thinking about having a girl, obviously I'm excited, but I don't even know how to be a dad. I don't know. I don't know a lot about girls.
It makes sense,
because
like with me with a boy, I'd be like, what do I do with a boy? But then you do it. You learn.
Just figure it out. Yeah. So.
But it's funny because I was texting your mom. I sent my family, and then I sent you and your dad, your mom and your dad, pictures from our ultrasound yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, it looks like you. And then your mom was like, her profile looks a lot like you, because she's like, it doesn't look anything like Jonas's profile picture. She was like, they should be in the book that she gave us. That book.
What should be in the book?
Remember that your baby book that she let us borrow?
Oh, pictures of me as a baby?
Yeah, she said that some of your ultrasound profile pictures should be in that.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway,
look at it.
Everyone was kind of like, it's going to be a little Mykayla. And I'm like, well, we don't know that. But then everyone's like, it looks like Mykayla. Which I'm like, how do you tell that in a profile? But then when they did that hard, like where they do like the 3D graphic of it, where it was like, I don't know what you call it, but it kind of makes it look hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The 3D render. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I remember when she did one of those, when we were doing it for the gender reveal, and I was like, I literally told Jonas, I'm like, that looks like a girl to me. And then I was like, it looks a lot like me. So I don't know.
You did say that, yeah.
Like it just looked like a girl to me. And then like the other stuff we've looked at, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a girl. So it's kind of funny. But I'm like, I guess we'll have a little Mykayla. It's okay. You'll have a crush on two Mykaylas. Just kidding.
That's true.
Your little girl and me will be so cute.
Also, and I don't know how much this says anything about the baby's size, like when she'll be born, but she's a little so she's perfect in the normal range, but just like on the smaller side. And so she's definitely taking after you, which is good, because I was worried, because I don't think you could handle having a big baby. Yeah, but then when we look at those
pictures of her feet, I know like when they do it, it kind of looks bigger than it is. But even Chelsea said she has feet like Maddie. And Maddie she wasn't like a big baby. She just had longer hands and feet because she has more of the Barney genes, the taller genes.
Mm-hmm.
And so Chelsea was just like, I was like, she might be like Maddie, like just really, she'll be tiny and petite, but just she'll probably grow into having, like Chloe's baby's not that big, and she's like 6'1" and he's 6'4", and he just has really like long hands and feet, but he's not big yet. So
I guess
true. We'll see.
You never know. I just hope for your sake that the baby stays small.
I'm sure it will, because you weren't that big. Jonas was only 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and I was like 6 pounds. But I was also born a month early because we were rushed into the hospital. But so I don't think the baby will be that big, hopefully. I don't know.
We'll find out. So going back to the topic of gender disappointment, one thing that people always have told me, like friends that have kids or just people that have kids that I know, is everyone, because leading up to it, obviously, people would ask them like, yeah, I feel like a boy would be lots of fun. And just the way it works out, I have so many friends that, like, pretty much all my friends with kids have girls.
They do.
And they all said, there was like, everyone said two things. One, they all said like, there's nothing like it. Like you really want a girl. And then two, everyone said afterwards, it's good to have a girl first, because girls tend to be more mature than boys, and you want your oldest child to be the most mature. Which makes sense. Which
is funny, because I always grew up with an older brother, and I'm like, like growing up, I'm always like, I want a boy first, protector of the house, being the big, tough brother. And then my sister's like, I wish sometimes it was vice versa. Like, I would have had Maddie before Brad, just because, Brad's kind of like a punk and, picks on his siblings, which siblings do. But she's like, Maddie's just more like independent, can do things on her own. So it would have been nice to like, you know, just like Jonas said, everyone's kind of been saying like, oh, I wish I would have had my daughter first instead of a boy. So I feel like that's kind of like cool, makes me feel good. Like, oh yeah, that's a good way to think of it, you know, having a girl first.
Yeah, but I mean, I already see it because I don't know, just as it's nice knowing the gender. I feel like I just know a little bit more about the baby, and I'm really excited. You know, I mean, it's hard because we can't really see her, but I feel like I already care about her. You know, like I don't know, I'm excited. I think it'll be a cute little kid.
I've just been getting really scared.
About what?
The whole time I'm like, I want a baby, but now like the fact that it's like really happening and that it's getting bigger and we're getting closer, and I'm like, wow, this is really happening. Like, I'm really scared. Just scary. Like, I'm so excited, but like, I'm like, wow, like our life's about to change, you know? And then like, I've just had the hardest pregnancy, and I know everyone goes through trials and struggles differently, and everyone's going through hard things. So I don't want to say like poor me or I'm the only one that's going through a hard pregnancy, because I know everyone has, you know, their different challenges and strengths that they go through pregnancy. But, you know, mine has been really quite difficult. And then we had another episode and I went to the hospital. And so that's been like
I don't even
really
know if we've
crazy.
talked about that yet.
Yeah.
And we don't even really know what it was, because first we thought it was kidney stones. We go to the ER because Mykayla couldn't sleep. It was like 4 a.m.
There was like, so the night, I'll just do a little breakdown of it. So the night of the gender reveal, I guess this isn't really like part of the topic, but that's the fine. Night of the gender reveal, or like all day at the gender reveal, is kind of crampy and hurting, you know, just because like, I think like growing, stretching pains. And then that night I woke up like 5 times in the night and I couldn't sleep on either side, and I was hurting, and like I kept getting up, and then I just have to like sit up, and it was like super painful, and I was like, ow. And then it was kind of like my lower front side and on my right side, and my going straight into like the back of my right side right there, like right across from each other. And then we wake up, we go to church, and then we're sitting at church, and it kind of happens again a little bit when we're sitting there for the first hour. And so like I was kind of like, okay, like it's not that bad, okay. So then we come home, and around like 4 o'clock hits, and for 20 minutes I'm sitting there like shaking, like hurting so bad. I'm like trying to move, but I can't move, and I'm trying to like curl up in a ball because I'm like, it hurts so bad, and I like wanted to like rip my hair out, and I'm just sitting here like, ow, 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 and like Jonas is just looking at me like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what's wrong. So then we called his sister Maddie, that's in med school, and just asked her opinion, like, should I go to the doctor? Do you think it's just growing pains, this and that? So she was kind of giving out all the scenarios. So she's like, I mean, I would go just to make sure everything's okay and the baby's okay, but she's like, if you really just want to wait it out, because it was Sunday, so I couldn't call my OB. So she's like, if you really want to wait it out until tomorrow morning and call your OB and ask what you should do. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm just going to do that, because like I really did not want to go to the hospital. We're sleeping, and I was doing okay till 5 in the morning or like 4 in the morning. I woke up, and I kind of started feeling the pain come on. So I went to the bathroom, and it was hurting so bad when I came back and laid down. And so I was laying there for like 10 minutes, kind of like, okay, I'm okay. Like I'm trying to like get through the pain, hoping it will stop here shortly. And then it started getting so bad. So I like woke Jonas up. And right after I woke him up, I was in so much pain, and I was shaking so bad that I like was like, I'm going to throw up. So then I went and threw up, and then I'm sitting there like shaking, and I'm in a little ball at the toilet, and it's like hurting because I can't lay or any positions, like everything's just hurting so bad. And then it like hurt to throw up, to throw it up, or I guess not throw it up, but to throw up. And then I'm like, Jonas, take me to the hospital right now. And it took like everything in me to like get up off the ground, stand up, put clothes on, get into the car to go to the hospital. I'm like, this was horrible. And it lasted for like 40 minutes. So it was really painful. So anyway, we went to the hospital. They did all the tests. They did an ultrasound on my kidneys, and they said I had fluid in my kidneys, which can detect as like a UTI or a kidney stone or whatever. And then
So it was like for sure one of the two.
Yeah, and then
that's what it seemed like.
And then they came in, but like it didn't hurt to pee. I mean, I was peeing a lot, but I just feel like because the baby's sitting really low, I think she just makes me pee a lot. But it like didn't hurt to pee, like none of that. Anyway, the doctor comes in and they put me with UTI well, first, like, one of the nurses or something comes in and she's like, "Okay, so you have a UTI. We're going to give you the medicine, and then tomorrow you're going to go and get the prescription and whatever." Then the doctor comes and sees us and goes, "Well, we don't really know yet if it's a UTI." He's like, "We haven't gotten the results back for that. We'll know in 24 hours. So we put the medicine in you. It's fine. And then tomorrow, like, depending on when we get the results back, we'll let you know. And if it is a UTI, then go get the prescription." So anyway, I still didn't hear anything yet. So I just went and got the prescription and started taking it because I called my OB and she's like, "Well, just start taking it." And then not till the next day after that, she was like, "Yeah, the results came back. You don't have a UTI." So we have just come to the conclusion, like, maybe it's around ligament pain and because I'm so small and where the baby's sitting. So then I went to my chiropractor at home that's like the best and did my mom her whole pregnancy and did me like through my whole gymnastics career. Dr. Shiflett, he felt the baby and it was pushing on that side. So he pushed the baby over and then adjusted me, and it did help a ton. So I've been doing better, but there'll still be moments where I get some pain, but I'm not having like a seizure, like it's a lot better, but I still at night, I wake up 10 times in the night. I don't sleep very good. I can't lay, or everything just hurts. So it's honestly just been like really rough. Like I'm so small. I'm like, how does the baby fit? Like it's just going to be really painful, I think. So anyway, that's that story.
So it's been rough.
It's been rough.
I mean, you've been pretty good lately though.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, everybody, we wanted to let you know about a super cool event that we're actually going to be speaking at in, when is it? June 1st. So it's a free online event called I Am Mom Summit with option to attend in person. So if you're here in Utah, come say hi.
Yeah, and it's been really overwhelming, becoming a mom. So it's been really fun to talk to other moms and just connect with them and to already know that they've been there and done it. And it kind of helps me with becoming that new time mom. So it's going to be really exciting and fun.
Yeah, so it's a free online event. If you're here in Utah, you can come. We're going to be speaking or having a panel or something.
Yeah.
Sean Johnson and Andrew East, the founders of Family Made, they were keynote speakers at last year's summit, and they'll be there again this year. There's a lot of cool people that are going to be there, and it's going to be fun. The theme of this year is Summer Boot Camp, Systems to Keep Your Sanity. And speakers will touch on topics like family connections, screen-free ideas for the kids, meal prep ideas, travel tips, and more.
So all the things. I'm so excited. I was like, I know like Sean and Andrew had kind of talked about it, and then when they asked us to be a part of it, I was like, oh, this is so cool, because I was like, oh, I'd love to do something like that. So we're super excited. So obviously you guys can head over to IamMomSummit.com to sign up for the free online event on June 1st. You can also sign up to attend in person, which I think you should if you can. And seriously, you guys, you do not want to miss this, especially my fellow mamas out there. Right now, go to IamMomSummit.com and reserve your spot because it will fill up quickly. The link will be in our notes, so we'll share that with you as well.
See you guys there. Questions for you. And this is kind of a big question. 2 of them, actually. So do you think it's wrong to have a gender preference for your baby? And I'll let you answer that first.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
No, I wouldn't think it. Because, like, a lot of my friends just, like, kind of had a feeling they knew what it was, and that's what it was, too, So, like, I don't know. And I don't think it's wrong to have a preference of if you want it to be a girl or a boy.
Yeah, I agree. Well, so this leads to the next question. So do you think... So some people say, I just want a healthy baby versus having a preference, which I think is great.
That was kind of me. I'm like,
But
oh,
do you think that some people genuinely don't care? I think everyone has some sort of preference.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like at least a little.
I mean, maybe not so much with the first necessarily.
I would say definitely with the second. Because you already have one.
Right.
So you for sure have, maybe not so much with the first. I think some people are just excited. And then maybe if you have like 6 kids already, it's like, unless they're all one gender, like you got 6 girls,
Right.
I don't know. But I feel like even with
But
all
even with the
those,
first, I still feel like a lot of people.
you've got to have at least a
I
little.
know some people that I want a boy my first, or I want a girl my first, or. But then I feel like whatever you end up having, you obviously fall in love with them and love them no matter what. So.
Yeah.
But I think everybody does kind of have a preference.
So why did you have a girl preference to dress it up in cute stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, well, and just so I knew I had a girl. Like now I'm like, oh, I don't care what I have. I got my little mini me. I got a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if we had 2 or 3 more boys after that, I'd be fine. Cause I'm like, oh, I have a girl. So I just wanted to at least know I have a girl. But at the same time, I was totally fine having a boy first. I was kind of like a boy would be fun.
I thought we were gonna
have a
only
little Jonas,
boys, because I feel like you'd be a cool boy mom. I guess not. Now we have a girl.
God thinks differently, I guess. That would be I mean, obviously I'd be sad not to have a girl, but I mean, I think it'd be fun to have all boys, but it's not the case. What if it's all girls? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think we already kind of know why. I just feel like I know
Well,
what to do with a boy.
Everybody also it's just fun to have both genders. My brother has 6 kids and his wife, they have 6 kids. And the first 3 were all boys. And then when she was pregnant with her 4th, at that point she's kind of like, well, I only have boys. I don't really know what I'd do with a girl. I'm used to having boys, so I just kind of want all boys. And then she ended up having a girl, so she has 3 boys, 3 girls.
She ended up having 3 girls.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm so glad I had girls too. You know what I mean? I feel like unless you have the other gender, you wouldn't really know a difference. You just would accept what you have, and that's just how you would go about life. I feel like you're just happy either way. There's some people that have 6 girls and they're, maybe wish they could have had the other gender, but they love all their girls. You know what I mean? So I guess you just deal with it. It's just life, I guess. You know, it's what you're meant to have. But it's also kind of funny because I've 12 nieces and nephews, and I'm the tiebreaker with the girl. So there's 6 boys, 6 girls. And 6? So now
your parents have more
more
granddaughters.
Girls.
That's funny.
But I kind of feel like during COVID, everyone was having boys, or kind of a little bit after COVID, last year and stuff too. It was all boys. And I know a couple people having boys, but everybody I know is having girls. So it's kind of, excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups now. It's kind of it's funny how it kind of switches, I feel like.
When we did the YouTube video where we tested out the gender myths and old wives' tales, were you excited or disappointed? It was kind of hard for me because it was pretty even. You know what? We need to go back and watch.
The boys won by 2.
Yeah, we need to go back and watch and see which tests picked girl, because
the P
those
test
are the ones that
girl.
were right. Yeah, the P test was a girl. That'll be fun to do that same video for
the next baby and just see the differences.
But I do remember going into that, I was pretty confident that it was a boy. And then afterwards I was like, maybe, I mean, those shouldn't influence me because I know they're just myths. I don't know, maybe there's some.
Well, you thought girls had won before you tallied it all up. So then you're like, I don't know. And then you tallied it up and boys won, but
I know, but I was just focusing on all the girls ones. But I mean, again, I wasn't completely sold myself on a boy, so I wasn't expecting a boy or anything. And then I changed my guess last minute, so.
I feel last minute I was it's probably just going to be a boy, because I did had want a girl so bad at the beginning, and then I was it's probably a boy because I wanted a girl so bad. So then I kind of convinced myself oh, it's a boy, but I was happy.
Have we picked a name yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously.
But that was a question. But
I know, but
Mykayla's superstitious. You're a little stitious.
What do you mean?
You don't want to share the name.
Yeah, I don't want to share the name. One, because I don't want someone else to use it.
There's already babies with this baby name.
Yes,
but can I give a hint on what it is?
I don't know.
I have a good hint that'll kind of narrow it down. What if someone guesses it? Would you be mad?
No. All right. Don't have to tell them what it is.
Okay,
we don't
here's
just say,
the hint.
You got it.
So, and here's the thing, too. I was actually, the one thing that I did want a girl for.
There's another hint, but it would really give it away, so I can't say that one.
I think I know what you're talking about. So, the one thing about having a girl, obviously we had a list of baby names for both genders. and we couldn't really. We had a few like boy names that we liked, but we weren't like sold on any of them. But there was one girl's name where we were both like, "Oh, I really like that." And honestly, maybe it's because we knew deep down it wasn't a girl.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about that a lot
Yeah.
because I like those boy names, but for whatever reason, I couldn't like.
It just didn't sit right. Like, I just
Yeah.
didn't feel like confident. Like, it was like,
Because we have two boy names that we really like, but at the same time,
you're just like, I don't know.
it was just kind of weird. Yeah, but there was one girl name where we were both like, "Oh yeah, that's it."
Which is so funny because
So
like
maybe
this name, like 2 years ago, I would have been like,
So here's
But
the
then
hint.
like the meaning behind it and her nickname, like it's really cute.
So first, it's kind of a family name. The other hint is it's a name of a city. Long story short, we're not going to reveal it because Mykayla is a little superstitious and doesn't want people to take the name. And I don't know, not like you can take a name, but
I just don't want them to possibly have a baby and then use it before I get to use it.
yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, everybody has every name, I feel like, pretty much anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
So everybody will find out in 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. That's kind of crazy. I feel like I was just saying
That's
6
scary.
months,
I know.
like not too long ago. And last question for you, Mykayla. What advice can you offer to anyone who is about to find out the gender of their baby?
well, I stressed over it way too much because
You
I kept
did.
taking everyone's opinions, and then I couldn't even focus on my own thoughts or opinions on what I was having. But honestly, just like enjoy the moment. Like, don't even care about the gender. Obviously, the hardest part was not being able to buy anything for a long time. Like, I wish we could have done the gender reveal sooner.
I was fine with that
But
part.
with how sick I was and just with everything going on, it all ended up working out the right time it did. But it was really hard not knowing because I just wanted to buy things and like know what it was. But honestly, just really enjoy the moment. And when you find out the gender, like, it's seriously like the greatest feeling in the world and like the coolest thing to like know like finally what you're having, and it all kind of just really starts to like sink in and actually really become real once you know the gender. But honestly, just try to enjoy every moment of it because I know pregnancy kind of seems long and it's 9 months, but like it already has gone by so fast. Like, I'm already halfway.
That is true.
And I don't know, I mean, for the most part, I feel like most people are happy with what they're having. So if you're struggling with it, God is going to give you what you can handle and what you're supposed to have. So just remember that. And again, just really enjoy the moment because that was like the best part, was finally just kind of relaxing about it and really just being in the moment with Jonas and the baby and not really caring what other people's thoughts were. I don't know. What about you?
I think
From
you
like
summed
a
it
man's
up.
perspective.
I don't know. I mean, my only advice, if you're about to find out the gender of your baby, would be kind of what I did. Like, don't assume. I don't
Just
know.
be like very
I-
wide, like open-minded.
Yeah, like I wanted a boy, and my official guess was boy and then girl, but at the same time, I knew that I had no idea, So like, I wasn't gonna be disappointed. It was, yeah. So that's it. Because sometimes I do this thing for myself. Sometimes in life, where if I'm expecting something, I think about it so much that it's like reality, and then if it doesn't happen, my whole life is flipped
Right.
upside down.
And I have had some
I feel like
friends that
everyone does that.
really wanted the other gender and they didn't get it and like cried for a couple days to like have to like kind of cope with it and get over and be like
That's a
once
little
they
much.
did, they were fine with it. It was just kind of like, man, I really thought it was a girl or I really thought it was a boy, and then when it wasn't that, it was like
Here's what I'll
shocker,
say. Here's what I'll say. If our next baby is a girl, I'll be like kind of upset, but it will be hilarious because I know that we're all gonna think it's funny because obviously I really want a boy.
Yeah.
And then if the next one's a girl, same sort of thing. It'll be like,
I used to want 4 or 5 kids, and now I'm kind of just thinking 3. So
we're thinking 3, but if we have 3
Jonas
girls, we're
says
gonna
3,
keep
yeah,
going until we have a
he's
boy.
yeah, but
we need at least one.
you ain't going through pregnancy.
I guess that's
I mean,
fair,
we'll have to
but
see how the second one goes. If my second pregnancy can be a little bit better, then I might be able to push for 4 or 5, but I don't know.
we'll see.
It's kind of tough.
The assumption today is you guys debated waiting until birth to find out the gender of the baby.
No.
No, we did not.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, there's
I'm like,
no
how
way.
would you? I don't know how people
plan?
do that.
Yeah.
Especially with the first. I mean, I get if you've already had a boy and a girl and you kind of already have stuff. And I know a lot of more stuff's gender neutral. But, like, still, I'm like, no, there's no way. I'm, like, already freaking out right now because we haven't even started the nursery. There's so many things I haven't done. Like, we still got to clean stuff out. Like, we've kind of been in the process. But then I've been busy traveling. And, like, I was so sick. So it was, like, really stressful. And things are getting more stressful now because I feel like it's getting closer and closer. And then I'm like, what if I were to somehow go into labor early and I don't have anything I don't know. I'm, like, getting stressed out. It's kind of nerve-wracking. But. So I don't know how you would just... I think it would be cool to do it for one of them, though. But, like, it'd still be kind of hard for me.
I would find out. I'd let you be in the dark, I guess. I'd want to know.
I mean, I don't want to do that. But it could be fun to maybe do it with one. But
kind of fun. Anyways, thank you, everyone, for listening. As always, love you guys.
We're so excited. We're having a girl. I hope you guys are excited too. I know everyone's already been saying she's going to be a little gymnast, but then I'm like, well, I don't know. She might be too tall. So it'll be an exciting adventure. I know my coach, Lisa, back at home is like really excited for me to have a girl. So it'll be exciting to go see her and visit her next time. So anyway, we're really excited for her. I know a lot of people are super excited for having a girl. Sorry, it's going to be a little Mykayla.
I'm fine with that. That'd be
but
cute.
I really kind of was hoping for a little Jonas, to be honest, because Jonas was really cute. But she'll be cute. She'll be hopefully a good mix of the both of us. Anyway, today was a fun episode. So fun to talk about all the baby things in each chapter. Like each week we get to do like something new and discover something new. So it's really cool to talk about it and educate ourselves more. So it's really fun. So anyway, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us 5 stars if you guys are liking the podcast. Again, we love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. It has been seriously so awesome through this challenging, difficult, and most beautiful time. So we'll catch you guys next week.
See you next week.